Good morning, Sairam students. So again, I'm back with one more session of Geography, chapter number 4, that is climate. Okay, so students, do you remember which topic we have discussed in the previous video? Yes, we have discussed about the onset of the monsoon and the withdrawal of the monsoon. Okay, now in this session, we are going to discuss about the seasons. Okay, so today's our topic is seasons. So let's start. Okay children, now first tell me what type of climate India has. Yes, as we know that India has a monsoon type of climate. So the monsoon type of climate is characterized by a distinct seasonal pattern. The weather conditions change from one season to another. These changes are particularly noticeable in the interior part of the country, right? These changes we only notice in the interior part of the country, but the coastal areas do not experience much variation in temperature, though there is variation in rainfall pattern. So here are the main seasons. Here are the four main seasons found in India can be identified. First one is the cold weather season, that means winter. Next, the hot weather season, we can also say summer. Now third one is the advancing monsoon, it is also called the rainy season. And the last one is the retreating monsoon. So children, do you remember these two topics we already discussed in the previous video? So here we are going to take a small recap of these two topics, but before that let's read about the cold weather season and the hot weather season. So first one is the cold weather season or winter. As we know that winter is cold, children mainly basically dress warmly to play in the snow. Even animals head to their winter homes. So the first topic is cold weather season, winter. So first of all, it begins from mid-November in the northern India. Where? In northern India. It begins from mid-November in the northern India and stays till February. December and January are the coldest month in the northern part of India. Is it clear? First of all, the cold weather season begins from mid-November in the northern India and stays till February. So December and January are the coldest month in the northern part of India. Second thing is the temperature decreases from south to north. Clear? During winter time the temperature decreases from south to north. So the average temperature of Chennai, here is Chennai, on the eastern coast is between 24 degree Celsius to 25 degrees Celsius. And if we talk about the northern plains, so northern plains it ranges between 10 degrees Celsius to 15 degrees Celsius. Clear? So basically we can say that days are warm and nights are cold during the winter season. Now during the winter, vertical sun rays shift towards the southern hemisphere, right? During winter season, the vertical sun rays shift towards the southern hemisphere. That's why the North India experience intense cold, whereas this season is not well defined in South India. Frost is very common in the north at that time. Frost is common in the north and the higher slopes of the Himalayas experience snowfall. Frost is very common in the north and higher slopes of Himalayas experience snowfall. Now, during this season, the northeast trade winds prevail over the country. Just note down this point. During this season, or we can say during winter season, which wind prevail over the Indian subcontinent? North east trade winds, right? The northeast trade winds prevail over the country and they blow from land to sea. And these winds blow land to sea, and hence for most part of the country it is a dry season. Okay, now, so as I said, during this season the northeast trade winds prevail over the country. Next thing is the rainfall. So some amount of rainfall occurs on the Tamil Nadu coast. Here is the Tamil Nadu. From these winds, as here they blow from sea to land. And in the northern part of country, high pressure region develops. Why? Because at that time temperature is down. So that's why high pressure region develops with light winds moving outwards from this area and influenced by the relief. And these winds blow through the Ganga valley from the west and the northwest. Clear? Now, next thing is the weather is normally marked by clear sky, low temperatures, low humidity and variable winds. Okay, now next thing is the weather is normally, as I said, marked by the clear skies. So characteristics feature of cold weather season over the northern plains is in the inflow of cyclonic disturbance from the west and the northwest side. So these low pressure system originated, as we already discussed in the previous video, these low pressure system originated over the where? Mediterranean Sea and Western Asia, and it moved towards India along with the westerly flow, right? And they just cause the much needed winter rainfall, locally known as they cause the much needed winter rains over the plains region and snowfall in the mountains. Next thing is, although the total amount of winter rainfall is locally known as Mahavat, right? The total amount of winter rainfall locally known as Mahavat is small, and they are of immense importance for the cultivation of rabi crops. So the peninsular region does not have a well-defined cold season. There is hardly any noticeable season or seasonal change in temperature pattern during winters due to the moderating influence of the season. Is it clear about the cold weather season? Okay, now move on to the next is summer. So, long and hot days. Summer fruit and vegetables are ready to be picked. You see many bees and butterflies fly flowers to flowers during the summer time. So the next topic is hot weather season, or it is also referred as summer. So it starts from March and lasts till the end of May. Now, during summertime, now the vertical sun rays shift towards the northern hemisphere, and during winter time it shifts towards the southern hemisphere, but during summertime it shifts towards the northern hemisphere. The influence of the shifting of heat belt, right, can be seen clearly from temperature recordings. Basically, in May, the temperature around is 48 degrees Celsius is common in the northwestern parts of the country. And if we talk about the peninsular India, so the temperatures remain lower due to the moderating influence of the oceans. Clear? So temperature rises gradually from south to north, and highest temperature experiences in Karnataka in March, Madhya Pradesh in April, and Rajasthan in May. Clear? Highest temperature experience in Karnataka in March, Madhya Pradesh in April, and Rajasthan in May. Clear? Now, next thing is the summer months experience rising temperature, as we know that falling air pressure in the northern part of the country. Now, towards the end of May, an elongated low pressure area develops, because at that time temperature is extreme high. So that's why low pressure area develops in the region extending from the Thar desert in the northwest to Patna and Chota Nagpur plateau in the east and southeast. Okay. Basically, a striking feature, if we talk about the striking feature of the hot weather season, is Lu. These are strong, gusty, hot, dry winds, right? Lu, basically, these are strong, hot, dry winds blowing during the day over the north and northwestern India. And sometimes they even continue until late in the evening. Direct exposure to these winds may even prove to be fatal. Now, dust storms are very common, as we know that dust storms are very common during the month of May, right? And in the northern India, and these storms bring temporary relief as they lower the temperature and may bring light rain and cool breeze. So this is also the season for localized thunderstorms, right? This is also the season for localized thunderstorms associated with the violent winds, right? And often accompanied by hail. So in West Bengal, these storms, right? These storms are known as Kal Besakhi. Clear? In West Bengal, these storms are known as the Kal Besakhi. So towards the close of summer season, pre-monsoon showers are very common, especially in Kerala and Karnataka. Where? In Kerala and Karnataka, towards the close of the summer season, pre-monsoon showers are very common, especially in Kerala and Karnataka. They help in the early ripening of mangoes and are often referred to as mango showers. Clear? Okay. Now move on to the next one, is advancing monsoon, the rainy season. So the rainy season, by early June, the low pressure condition over the northern plains intensifies. It attracts the trade winds of the southern hemisphere. Now these southeast trade winds, which one? Southeast trade winds originate over the warm subtropical areas of the southern ocean. Then they just cross equator and blow in the southwesterly direction, entering the Indian peninsula as the southwest monsoon wind. As these winds blow over warm oceans, they bring abundant moisture to the subcontinent. So, intense heating northwest India creates low pressure in this region, and this low pressure attract the winds from surrounding region. So after having rains for a few days, sometime monsoon fails to occur for 1 or more week is known as break in the monsoon. So break in the monsoon we already discussed in the previous video, right? After having rain for a few days, if sometime monsoon fails to occur for 1 or more week, so it is known as break in the monsoon. Now these winds are strong and blow at an average velocity of 30 km per hour. With the expectations of the extreme northwest, the monsoon winds cover the country in about a month. Basically, the inflow of the southwest monsoon into India brings about a total change in the weather. Early in the season, the windward side of the Western Ghats, right? So, here is Western Ghat. So, the windward side of the Western Ghat receives very heavy rainfall, more than 250 centimeter. And the Deccan Plateau and the parts of Madhya Pradesh also receive some amount of rain in spite of lying in the rain shadow area. Now, the maximum rainfall of this season is received in northeastern part of the country. Clear? The maximum rainfall of this season is received in the northeastern part of the country. And as we know that Mavsaram in the southern range of Khasi Hills received the highest average rainfall in the world. Next, rainfall in the Ganga Valley decreases from east to west. Rajasthan, we know that Rajasthan and the parts of Gujarat get scanty rainfall. Basically, the rainfall in the Ganga Valley, it decreases when the rainfall moves from east to west direction, so it decreases. That's why Rajasthan and the parts of Gujarat get scanty rainfall. And other phenomena associated with the monsoon is its tendency to have a breaks in the rainfall. Thus, it has wet and dry spells. Right? And when the axis of monsoon trough lies over the plains, so rainfall is good in these parts. And on the other hand, whenever the axis shifts closer to the Himalayas, so there are longer dry spells in the plains and widespread rain occur in the mountainous catchment areas of Himalayan rivers. So these heavy rains bring in their wake devastating flood, causing damage to life and property in the plains. Right? And the next one is fourth one is retreating monsoon. So retreating, that means withdrawal of monsoon. It extends from October to November. Basically, it starts in October and November and causes rainfall in South India. Basically, at that time, vertical sun rays start shifting towards northern hemisphere. That's why low pressure region shift from the northern parts of India towards the south. So owing to the condition, or we can say that the land is still moist, so owing to the conditions of high temperature and humidity, the weather becomes rather oppressive during the day. So this is commonly known as October heat. Clear? October heat, that means the condition of high temperature and humidity. So the weather become oppressive, rather oppressive, so during the daytime. So this is commonly known as October heat. Now, during October or November, with the apparent movement of the sun towards the south, The monsoon trough or the low pressure trough over the northern plains become weaker. So this is gradually replaced by a high pressure system. So the southwest monsoon winds weaken and start withdrawing gradually. So by the beginning of October, the monsoon withdraw from the northern plain. Clear? By the beginning of October, the monsoon withdraw from the northern plains. The months of October November form a period of transitions from hot rainy season to dry winter conditions. So the retreat of the monsoon is marked by clear skies and rise in temperature. While day temperatures are very high and nights are cool and pleasant. In second half of the October, the mercury begins to fall rapidly in northern India. In the second half of October, so basically mercury begins to fall down in the northern India. So the low pressure conditions over the northwestern India gets transferred to the Bay of Bengal by the early November. When? By the early November, the low pressure condition over northwestern India get transferred to the Bay of Bengal. This shift is associated with the occurrence of cyclonic depressions which originate over the Andaman Sea. Clear? This shift is associated with the occurrence of cyclonic depression which originate over the Andaman Sea. Now these cyclones generally cross the eastern coast of India and cause heavy and widespread rain. These tropical cyclones are often very destructive. So the thickly populated deltas of the Godavari, the Krishna, the Kaveri are frequently struck by this cyclone, which cause great damage to the life and the property. Sometimes these cyclones arrives at the coast of Odisha too, West Bengal and Bangladesh. So the bulk of rainfall of the Coromandel coast is derived from depressions and cyclones. So students, is it clear? So basically there are four main seasons which we discussed in this video found in India. The cold weather season, winter, the hot weather season, advancing monsoon, or we can say the rainy season, and retreating monsoon. Okay, now in this chapter two topics are left now: distribution of rainfall, and next one is monsoon, a unifying bond. So these two topics we will discuss in next video. So soon again we will meet again in next video. Till then, bye, have a great day and thank you.